Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoటి Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmadgurubhyo Namaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishwaro Guru Ratmete Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Om Shri Medha Dakshina Murti Swamine Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniam Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambattvamanusandaddhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sankapadakramopaniषदैः Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastitadadgateena Manasam Pashyanti Yam Yoginah Yasyantanna Vidhusura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. So Namaste once again everyone.
Namaste, Guruji.
So let me extend a warm welcome to Rekha Muralidharan ji, who is just joined today. She's a friend of our old student Lata ji, who also resides in the UK. So she was very keen to join the Bhagavad Gita classes, and there was a strong recommendation from Lata ji. See, I cannot ignore the recommendations from senior students, isn't it? Because they know what these classes are about, and they will only recommend the right people who are seriously interested in such subjects. Not too many are. But I reckon that it's a time, I mean, like I used to say, everybody, there is a moment of reckoning, I mean, you are totally, immersed in all samsara. One fine day, one spark comes. Oh, I should actually, what is the point in all these things? Let me try to find, way out. It happens to all of us. In one way or the other, it happens. So that way, let us extend a warm welcome. And I hope she will be able to find it convenient to attend all the classes. And she will, of course, be trying to catch up by viewing the old videos, not too many, not too small, 188 videos she has to view. But I think she has started the process, and so she will catch up over a period of time. Okay. And with those welcome note, let us start the class. Okay. Okay. So we were seeing the 19th shloka. Bhutagrama sa evayam bhutva bhutva praliyate ratriyagame vashapata prabhavatyah ragame. So Lord Krishna made a comparative study or to say more precisely, a contrast study of two possible destinations of a human being. Even though human goals are innumerable, and even though the Purusharthas themselves are supposed to be four in number, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Krishna broadly classifies all the possible goals, including the four Purusharthas, into two varieties. And those two varieties are the infinite goals and finite goals. In fact, you cannot imagine a third possible goal, because every goal that you have in life has to be either a finite in nature or infinite. Even if you take dharma, artha, kama, they will all come under finite goals only. Because dharma means what? Punya. And any amount of punyam that you acquire, it is born out of finite actions. And therefore, dharma is finite. Similarly, artha, any amount of wealth you acquire will come under finite, because it is a result of a finite action. And one fine day, the wealth will leave you or you will leave the wealth, isn't it? There is an end date for all these things. Similarly, kama, sources of entertainments, all pleasures, including the 14 lokas, including the Sakshat Brahma Loka itself, including the very post of Brahmaji. All those sources of pleasures and positions, etc., they will all come under finite. Of course, some of them may have a very long duration of existence. But even the longest duration is finite in nature. No, just as we say in astronomy. They say our sun will also explode sometime in future. Because the astronomers have observed that stars explode in the universe. And sun is a star. So what they call, the nova or supernova, I think that is the right terminology for explosion of these stars. So one fine day, sun will also explode. It is a finite in nature. And naturally, what will happen? The sun will explode. And when we read this or hear this, we may get somewhat concerned. But one advantage in astronomy is that they calculate time in millions of years. So if they say soon it will explode, it will mean that it would be a millions of years afterwards it will explode. We are only concerned, about 30 to 50 years. Now, all of us are on the wrong side of 50. I think so. If there is somebody who is on this side of 50, please excuse me. Generally, very, very few people, other than I have seen people in the Gurukula, for these kind of classes, only senior citizens are about to be senior citizens. At that time only, they actually are able to see the limitations of all their worldly achievements, worldly accomplishments. And that is why when they are troubled by all the problems of samsara, they seek a solution. Unfortunately, somebody tells them that there is a solution. And the solution lies in scriptures like Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, etc. You will have to study them, understand them. So, we are not bothered about the sun exploding and all, because that's not going to happen, at least in this life. In some future life, we will see. Before that, we will get moksha and get out of this entire samsara cycle rather. Therefore, the point is, some of them like Brahmaloka and all may have a very long duration. but that is also finite only. And therefore, Krishna says, let us not get into all these human goals, purusharthas and all. Let us just understand very simply all goals divided into two: finite goals and infinite goals. And finite goals can be called what? Materialistic goals or anatma. And infinite goals can be called spiritual goals or atma, otherwise called Bhagavan in this chapter, or Ishvara. And therefore, Krishna's conclusion is God alone is Shashwatam. Other than God, everything else is Ashashwatam, ephemeral. And therefore, an intelligent person should not try to hold on to Ashashwata Vastu. An intelligent person must seek Shashwata Ishvara alone. And therefore, he says, may you choose God as your goal. And this is what Krishna's advice or teaching is. And to drive home this point, he is discussing this elaborately from verse number 15 to verse number 22. Now, in these slokas, because we started this from 15, verse number 15, and we are now in 19. So, in these slokas that we are discussing, Krishna wants to dispel a misconception that many people have. And that is, in the definition of moksha, which is defined in the Shastra as attaining that which is infinite, that which is permanent. And we have seen that only God is that entity. And therefore, Ishvara Prapti alone is the goal worth pursuing in one's life. And the Shastra talks about two highways to reach this goal. One highway is called Krama Mukti, and another is called Sadhyo Mukti. Of course, Krama Mukti is a longer route because it is achieved in stages. We have discussed all these things. I'm just summarizing it in the context of this sloka. Sadhyo Mukti is actually a shortcut. And as we saw in this chapter, in the 8th chapter, Krishna is discussing Krama Mukti. And in the 15th sloka, Krishna said that the great souls, having attained me, that is, having attained liberation, the infinite, they do not take rebirth. They will not be born again. So rebirth is not, punarapi jananam is not there when one attains Ishvara. That is moksha. Being reborn means once again going through all these travails of samsara, a life of sorrow, misery, grief. That means once the infinite is attained, there is no return to the finite world. And in order to emphasize this, he pointed out in the 16th sloka that life in all the 14 worlds, 7 up and 7 down, including Brahmaloka, is finite only. And therefore, all the jivas in those lokas, including the realm of Brahmaji, are subject to return. Then in the 17th sloka and 18th slokas, he described the duration of the existence of Brahmaloka, which we saw was a mind-boggling millions of years. He said one day of Brahmaji consists of 1000 Chaturyugas of daytime and another 1000 Chaturyugas, which is Brahmaji's night. He gives out all these calculations to highlight that even such a long duration of Brahmaloka, Still, it is a finite world only, and it will also come to an end. And then continuing with the same subject matter, he stated that when the night of Brahmaji starts, the entire universe goes into an unmanifest condition. And then when the rise of day of Brahmaji starts, the entire universe becomes manifest again. These are all very, very important aspects of our culture. We must understand. Unfortunately, in the last few hundred years, we have been brainwashed by all the Western culture, Western thought, etc. So we use certain English terminologies very loosely. We say creation. There is no harm in using the word creation as long as we understand what we mean by creation. So creation for us is nothing but the universe going from unmanifest condition to manifest condition, and then again going back into unmanifest condition after a period of time. Thus, what we call creation is a cyclical process, and which has been going on from beginningless times. Nobody knows when it all started. The scriptures themselves admit we do not know when it started. It has been going on and on and on. This means that when the universe becomes manifest, all the multitude of jivas who had become unmanifest at the time of pralayam, the same jivas will become manifest with their karana shariram intact, all the punya papa account intact. And in that context, in the last class, we were discussing a question that may arise. If it is the same jivas who are going to manifest again, how come we see a continuous increase in the human population, which indicates that the number of jivas are increasing? For that, our answer was that jivas does not mean only human beings. Even plants, animals, insects, reptiles, even bacteria, virus, etc. Any living being is a jiva only. And that number is constant. It's a different matter that whatever what was an animal jiva in the previous creation may now become a human jiva in this creation based on the individual jiva's maturing karmas. And therefore, if there was a method to count all the jivas in the universe, which of course is not there, we will find that the number of jivas will be the same. So no new jivas can be created. Because if a new jiva has to be created, what type of body will be given? Bhagavan will have confusion. Because Bhagavan can give us a body based on our past karma. So Bhagavan has got a norm to determine the body that we should get in each janma. Because I have happily existed in the previous Srishti, and therefore, based on that, Bhagavan can give a Manushya Shariram, or a Pashu Shariram, or a Stavara Shariram. But when a fresh Jiva is created, being a new Jiva, since the past karmas are not available, what will be the basis on which the body will be decided? That will be another question. I hope you all understand the question. You cannot, because this is one question I think Lataji used to ask often, isn't it? When the first Jiva was created, on what basis did Bhagavan decide whether it was going to be a human Jiva or animal jiva or a plant jiva? Very, 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 I would call it a very important and intelligent question. You cannot say Bhagavan will decide on the basis of some draw of lots. In one box there will be the name of the jiva, in other lots they will have all the animal yonis, all the jiva yonis, rather human being, and then he will draw a lot. That it doesn't happen, rather it is not like that. What type of body we get is not determined by Bhagavan's wish. It goes purely by the body, purva karma. The body is purva karma, and since a fresh jiva will never have a purva karma, therefore fresh jiva creation is not possible. So the fresh jiva cannot be created. Now there could be another question. Okay, you say fresh jiva cannot be created, and the number of jivas in the previous srishti remains same as this srishti. What happens to those who have got moksha, who have attained moksha, liberation? Those jivas are not going to be born. So what happens to those? But there will be a lesser number of jivas, For example, Adi Shankaracharya, Moksha Purusha, after his Samadhi, not born. So at least one is reduced. Similarly, we have got so many other Mahatmas who have all got moksha. So you cannot say that the number of jivas remain the same. We say accept it. When we say remain the same, means more or less remain the same, because how many jivas are going to get moksha? At least in previous yugas it was possible. In Kali Yuga, very, very difficult. Maybe few like Ramana Maharshi or Swami Chinmayananda, Dayanand Saraswati, or Vivekananda, all those exalted jivas, they might have got moksha, or we would say they have got moksha. But compared to the total population, how many are there? So when we can safely say that all jivas are born again, they are created again, or they manifest again along with their past karmas, and then on the basis of those karmas, what body, sharira, they are going to get in this janma is decided. Of course, Bhagavan is the one who decides it, because Bhagavan is the karma phala data. But then he does not decide it on some random basis. He decides on the basis of a law of karma. Bhagavan is like sitting like a Supreme Court judge. The case comes before. Can the judge, decide a case based on his whims and fancies? No. He has to apply the relevant law. If it is a case of murder, then he has to apply the code of criminal procedure, whatever now new name and all being given to IPC, CRPC and all. He has to apply those laws and see what those laws are saying. What kind of murder, whether it was motivated, not motivated, accident. So many things are there. So the judge has to take into account all those things. Suppose he sees a papa karma. Oh, this jiva, he has done a big papa, because he has killed somebody in the past, janma, or whenever it was one of the past janmas. So now he is going to get he is due to get the body of maybe a rat, which is also going to get killed or drowned by human beings because it mistakenly entered somebody's house. and you start with some chappal and then the broomstick. Then you bring one rat. What is that? Trap, and then you trap that rat and put it in water and kill it. Not only you killed so in the previous janma you might have done that. This janma also you will get killed because you are born as a rat. So when that papa karma comes, okay, let me see whether he should become a rat. Bhagavan will decide. Wait. Because there will be somebody who will be the lawyer for that jiva. He will say, Bhagavan, that murder or killing took place because of certain circumstances. This jiva was forced to do that. He had to do self-defense because that other person was attacking him and he was trying to kill him. So self-defense is is a excuse you can give. So then Bhagavan will decide, okay, that's a very legitimate defense. Because as per law of karma, as per the law of the universe, cosmic law, self-defense is allowed. So Bhagavan will say, okay, even though there is a papa karma, it was done in self-defense, but still he has done it. Therefore, I cannot absolve him of all the, this effects of papa karma. Maybe I will make it little easier. So I will make him a tiger or something, which if attacked can run away, and in fact can attack back also. So all these are all kind of things which Bhagavan keeps in mind to decide what kind of body a jiva should get. No less than a process in the Supreme Court. But the basic point is all the jivas are anadis. We never know when all this started. This process of manifestation and unmanifestation has been going on eternally. Moreover, this process is, as I said, cyclical or circular process. So how can we determine which is the starting point in a circle? And that is why, in the Upakarma, the Avaniya Vittam, Sankalpam and all, Mahasankalpam, we start with Anadi Avidya Vasanaya, Pashupakshi Mrigadi Yonishu, Anekadha Punah Janitva, Kenapi Punyakarma Viseshena, Idanim Tana, Manushye Dvijanma Vishesha Praptavatah. So it says that I don't know when the whole thing started, but because I have done maybe some punya karma, that is why I have got this human body. And even that punya karma, so exalted punya karma, that I have, in this human body also, I have become a Dvijanma. It is a Vishesham. Twice born means the one who has gone through Vedic initiation through this Upanayana karma. So, all these things are all there in our scriptures. We have to understand. And therefore, the set of jivas are anadi. Fresh set of jivas are not created. Same jivas go through manifest and unmanifest process. And therefore, Krishna says, Saha eva. Saha eva means the same set of jiva rashi. The same set of group of jivas. Bhutva praliyate. Again and again, they are born and they go into unmanifest condition. And when that unmanifest condition happen, when do they get resolved? Ratri agame, when the night of Brahmaji starts. Now, if this is the process which is cyclical, it is like the merry-go-round. that we have, in children's park and all in some place, all this, what is called, getting the name. Big parks are there, like you have got this Disneyland and all that kind of
Theme parks.
theme parks. Or even in villages and all, also, we have seen in films, this fair and all is there. So there also they got this merry-go-round. Because if it is a merry-go-round, it will be very nice. I can choose to get in whenever I want. I can choose to get out also whenever I want. So Krishna says, wait, don't compare this cycle with the merry-go-round, because you have a choice. Here you don't have a choice. You have become manifest and unmanifest avashaha. You are helpless. So helplessly you find yourself here, whether you like it or not. And therefore avashaha prabhavati he partha. So as long as ahaha agame, the morning of Brahmaji starts, when the jiva is born, mortality cannot be escaped as long as you choose what? Time-bound result. You choose a finite result as the goal of your life. That is the message Krishna gives in this sloka. Emphasis is you must choose a infinite goal. That is what Krishna is trying to emphasize. He continues. Parastasmatu bhavonyah avyakto vyaktat sanatanaha yasas sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyate. The anvaya of this sloka is tu parah tasmat avyaktat anyah avyaktah bhavah yah sanatanah sah na vinashyati sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu. Tu, however, parah beyond, tasmat avyaktat, that unmanifest, anyah avyaktah bhavah, there is another unmanifest being, yah sanatanaha, which is eternal, saha, it, na vinashyati, does not perish, sarveshu bhuteshu, when all beings, nashyatsu, when they perish. However, see, Krishna says, however, beyond that unmanifest, that means what? Beyond that universe which is gone into a seed stage, bijam stage, there is another unmanifest being which is eternal. It does not perish when all beings perish. Here the word perish should be understood as becoming unmanifest. So that is the message. Krishna is slowly introducing us to that infinite goal. So up to the previous verse, Krishna has talked about all the finite result which will come under the field of matter, and any result which falls within matter is bound by time, and therefore it will have two conditions, manifest and unmanifest. In Sanskrit, it is called vyaktaha and avyaktaha, manifest matter and unmanifest matter, which you may call energy. So energy becomes matter and matter becomes energy. Again, energy becomes matter. This is the way modern scientists explain. We have no problem with that. We'll say, okay, whatever you say, whether it is energy or matter or whatever it is, all are finite only. So we are not bothered whatever name you give. Now Krishna says there is another goal, which a human being can achieve. which is beyond both this finite and infinite, both this manifest matter and unmanifest matter, both this karya prapancha and karana prapancha hai, both this vyakta prapancha and avyakta prapancha hai. Beyond this, what we call Maya, there is another entity. So Maya becomes a world, world becomes Maya. World is also matter, Maya is also matter. And both of them exist within time. So Krishna said there is another thing which is beyond both, which Krishna calls unmanifest, or we can call unmanifest number 2. So we have manifest matter, unmanifest matter. That unmanifest matter, that Maya, we will call unmanifest number 1. And here Krishna is introducing to unmanifest number 2. And that is nothing but consciousness principle. That consciousness, which is the witness of the unmanifest condition of matter, as well as the manifest condition of matter, that consciousness is the unmanifest number 2. And that witness consciousness does not fall within the witnessed field, because it is an observer. Observer is different from and beyond the observed. And if you have to understand this, we can make use of our own daily experience of 3 states. What are the 3 states we have got? 3 avasthas. Jagrit avastha, swapna avastha, and sushupti avastha. Waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. We have experienced this every day, we experience this. In the waking and dream states, there is a world, there is time, there is space, isn't it? Even when we see a dream, all these things are there. So the material world is conditioned by time and space, which I am experiencing in waking state. In dream state also, I experience a material world conditioned by time and space. And when I go to sleep state, deep sleep state, the whole material world is resolved. And the time and space also go to unmanifest condition. There is total blankness. But even at that time, there is someone who is aware of this condition. Who is aware of that? I am aware of that. How do you know I am aware? Because when I wake up, I am able to talk about that blank state. That means that there was a blank state, there was an awareness. I was continuing to be an observer even in the deep sleep, in that blank state, unchangeably. Even when the duality came and the duality got resolved, I remained unaffected by that. This is the observer of the matter. This observer of the change is the changeless consciousness principle, which is beyond time and space. Another way also we experience. Suppose somebody, usually wakes up, say, let us say 6 o'clock in the morning. But one day that person is sleeping till 9 o'clock. Now you go and wake him up. Say, oh, it's 9 o'clock. What happened? Are you okay? He or she will get up hurriedly. Oh my God, I slept so soundly. I didn't know the time at all. Means what? I was beyond time. Thank you for waking me up. So he knew that he was beyond time and he observed it. And he is able to talk about it. And therefore, what? That I, that unmanifest number two, that observer, which is beyond time and space, is the reality of this world. So consciousness does not fall within time. Consciousness does not fall within space. And therefore, consciousness does not fall within matter also. And therefore, consciousness does not fall within the physical and chemical laws. And that is why, the scientists who are struggling to understand consciousness in terms of physical or chemical laws, they are not able to get head or tail. Different statement, they contradict themselves. One scientist will say something, another scientist will say, no, he's wrong, he doesn't know. And now latest is, some of these scientists have already started saying, accepting rather, that this consciousness is beyond the physical laws, is beyond chemical laws, is beyond even location. Consciousness cannot be located. Why it can't be located? Because whatever exists within space can be located. Consciousness does not fall within space, and therefore it is unlocatable. Okay, then who is that unlocatable consciousness? That which is the witness of all these things. Krishna says that witness consciousness is Bhagawad. That is Ishvara. That is God. So when you say God, don't look here and there. Where is God? Where is God? Where is God? God is everywhere in the form of witness consciousness. Close your eyes, God is there. Open your eyes, God is there. Go to sleep, God is there. Wake up, God is there. All avasthas, one entity which is always there eternally is consciousness, which is Bhagavan, Ishvara, God, Brahman. Which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, which was called Para Prakriti in the 7th chapter. Then you may ask, what about the various forms that we attribute to God, Krishna, Rama, and all? We say all the forms attributed are in the initial stages of the spiritual journey. Spiritual journey starts with religion only. There is a subtle difference between religion and spirituality. Religion is in the realm of the material world, the finite world. Spirituality is in the realm of the infinite world. Religion is understanding this Shiva, Vishnu, Rama, Krishna, etc., celebrating them, singing their praise and glories, etc. Spirituality is understanding that consciousness, which I am in reality. The truth of me is consciousness. And why we start with this religion, that means all the forms, etc. Because a gross mind cannot appreciate the subtlest consciousness. Human intellect cannot conceive of something which is beyond time and space. And therefore, until the intellect gets sufficiently sensitized, unless it is sufficiently prepared through sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, we have to attribute a form. Therefore, now we say, oh God, God means Krishna, Shiva, Vishnu, Rama, Devi. And if you ask where are these gods, you will say, oh, Krishna is, I don't know, Vishnu is in Vaikunta, Shiva is in Kailasham, etc. and all you will say. But our ultimate approach, our final goal is God, that is Shuddha Chaitanya Swarupam. And hey Arjuna, I want you to discover discover oneness with that God. That is the aim of all these religious and spiritual struggles. So this is the idea in this sloka. So he says, Paraha tasmat avyaktat, anyaha avyaktaha. So we talked about one avyakta in the previous sloka, which is nothing but unmanifest matter. He says, other than that, anyaha avyaktaha, another unmanifest matter, there is something else, which is the third entity. So what are the three entities? Manifest matter number one, unmanifest matter number one, and unmanifest consciousness, which is unmanifest number two. And this consciousness is beyond manifest matter, manifest and unmanifest matter. And therefore, anyaha avyaktaha, consciousness principle. What is its nature? He says sanatanaha. It can never be affected by time. Any matter is affected by time. Consciousness is the only thing which witnesses time, which witnesses the arrival of time, which witnesses even the dissolution of time in sleep and in pranayam, but which is never affected by time. And that which is not affected by time is called immortal. And therefore he says, Sanatanaha, it is timeless. And where is that consciousness present? He says, Yaha saha sarva bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati. He says it is always present. Everywhere present. It does not perish. Sarva bhuteshu nashyatsu. Even when all the beings perish. Perish means, as I said, unmanifest, become unmanifest. And if you ask where is this consciousness located, I have already said, unlocatable. In fact, we go one step ahead and say time and space are actually located in consciousness. It's a fact. And it's very mind-boggling, I mean, we can't even conceive, we can't visualize. We are so much caught up in the time and space paradigm that we can't imagine something which is beyond time and space. How can you intellectually conceive the location of space? But when we say space is located in consciousness, what we mean is that consciousness is not located in space. That is the meaning. So where is it? There is no answer. Where is God? There is no answer. Because the very conception or the very question is based upon the misconception that God is someone located in space. Also, you cannot ask since when God came into being, because again that question also cannot be answered. An answer will mean God is located in time. How does God function? Even that cannot be answered, because the question how means cause and effect, which is also within time and space. In the field of God, even cause-effect concept cannot enter. So when you cannot ask where, you cannot ask how, you cannot ask why, you cannot ask when you cannot ask all these questions can be answered only with regard to a thing which is within time and space and causality. Anyway, Krishna does not dwell with this topic here in detail. Upanishads dwell on this topic. And in fact, Upanishads, they enjoy dwelling on this topic. As I said in the inaugural class or in early class, introductory class, Gita is supposed to be a diluted subject matter. And therefore, it is not, the Krishna doesn't present all these things, at the what I call at a PhD level. It's more at the, master's level. So Krishna will just hint and leave it. And in Kathopanishad, we see the definition of Brahman. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat, anyatra asmat kritat akritat. There the beautiful definition is given, Kathopanishad. Says, which is beyond the concept of causality. So Brahman is a serious goal. And we have to go to that Brahman. Again, when we say go, again we have a problem because go is a concept within time and space and travel. That is why, as I often said, any word that you use in Vedanta, you get trapped. Because our intellect can function only in the field of time, space, and causality. And that is why we say it is a matter to be understood. Brahman is a subject to be understood. You cannot, there is nothing called realization. People talk about, he is a realized soul. Means what? He has understood what is Brahman and he is abiding in that knowledge, in that understanding. That is what we mean by realized soul. So Krishna now continues. Avyaktoksara ityuktaha tamahu paramam gatim yam prapya na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. So the Anvaya is Avyaktaha Akshara iti Uktaha Tam Paramam Gatim Ahuhu Yam Prapyana Nivartante Tat Mama Paramam Dhamaha. Beautiful sloka, very simple sloka, 4 parts Krishna gives, very nicely, not difficult to do Anvaya at all. Avyaktaha, unmanifest. Aksharaha, Aksharaha literally means imperishable. Iti Uktaha is called. Tam, that. Paramam, highest. Gatim, goal. Ahuhu, they described. Yam, which. Prapya, attained. Na nivartante, do not return. Tat, that. Mama, my. Paramam, highest. Dhama has stayed. So the manifest being is said to be that manifest, unmanifest number 2. That being, that entity, is said to be the imperishable one, the imperishable one. They means what? The scriptures declare that to be the supreme goal. And that is the supreme abode of mind, attaining which they do not return. So here, Krishna talks more about God, the limitless goal. the real goal of life, which is worth attempting, which is Avyakta number 2, mentioned in the previous verse. Consciousness principle, consciousness of Chaitanyam. And that is called, Krishna says, Akshara iti uktaha. Krishna says in the scriptures, it is called Akshara. That consciousness is called Akshara. Literally, Akshara means imperishable. Imperishable means timeless. Imperishable does not mean that it remains in time permanently. You must understand the subtle difference. When we say it is eternal, does not perish, it does not mean that, okay, it's permanently there. That is not the meaning. Akshara, imperishable, means it cannot perish because it is beyond time. So we have to understand this very carefully. So imperishable means timeless, beyond time. You cannot define imperishable or Akshara in terms of time. So Akshara iti uktaha. So here, Bhagavad Gita, in the Gita, the connection with Mundaka Upanishad is established. Mundaka Upanishad students can recall, Atapparayaya tat aksharam adhigamyate. What is the definition of that consciousness in the Upanishad? I think we have repeated this endless times. Yattat adreshyam agrahyam agotram avarnam achakshusrotram tat apanipadham nityam vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam tat avyayam yat bhutayoni paripashyanti dhiraha. By now, I think all of us must have committed this to memory. So that is called Aksharam. Colorless, formless, smellless, tasteless, touchless. And here Krishna says, Arjuna, tam paramam gatim ahuhu. That Aksharam, that Brahman, accomplishing such Brahman is the highest goal, the real goal. Because only then you will go beyond time and space. And not to be reborn, you have to go beyond time and space. So any located place you go, like Vaikunta, Kailasa, wherever Brahma Loka, any Loka, Swarga Loka, all are within space. Even you call it heaven or Jannat in Islam, whatever you call, you have a concept of a particular place only. All these are within time, within space. And therefore, it cannot be called liberation. That is why we say moksha or liberation is not going to any place at all. Then what is liberation, you will ask? Liberation is going to Brahman, going within inverted commas, or attaining Brahman. Again, the word attaining within inverted commas, within quotes. So, tat paramam gatim ahuhu. Ahuhu means they say. Who are they? We can say jnaninaha, wise people, people who have already realized the truth about Brahman. So they ahuhu. They say. What they say? Tam, that Brahman is paramam gatim. That Brahman is considered to be the ultimate destination. Yam prapya na nivartante. Reaching again, quotes, within inverted commas, reaching which one does not return. Okay. So we will continue in the next class. Consider prayers. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnastya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavada everyone.
धन्यवाद रघुजी.
Thank
Thank you
Dhanyawad.
very much, Guruji. Namaskaram.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hari Om Guruji, thank you.
Hari Om. Yes, Lataji, what is your question?
Namaste, Guruji. I have a few small questions, Guruji. This in Krama Mukti, by Upasana, by doing the Upasana Yoga, as a stage of Krama Mukti, the Jiva will go to Brahma Loka, right? And there he gets the Brahma Jnanam from Brahmaji himself. Did you say, Guruji?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this my question probably is superfluous in the sense. Now, when somebody gets the Brahma Jnanam here in this life itself, his Agami karma and the Sanchita karma are negated. Only the Prarabdha karma he has to go through. Right. Now, with this person who is goes to Brahmaloka by Upasana, what about his karmas, Guruji?
All will continue till he gets the Atma Jnanam or Brahma Jnanam from Brahmaji. Well, going to Brahmaloka does not guarantee that you are going to get Atma Jnanam from Brahmaji, isn't it?
You can again come back.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, suppose like, so many people are here. They have got all these Vedanta classes. How many people attend the classes? He'll go to Brahmaloka and enjoy there. Brahmaji is taking classes. So once in a while, he will go and sit in the class. Oh, wonderful Brahmaloka, all this, entertainment is here. Huh? Here itself, we have got so many channels in the TV and all. Imagine Brahmaloka, how many channels will be there? And it will cover all the 14 lokas, what is happening in Naraka and Patala and all that, everything it will show. We will enjoy all these things. And Chine Punye, because first of all, he has gone to Brahmaloka on what basis? Through karma and upasana, he has earned a lot of punya.
Yes.
That is the currency with which he has gone to Brahmaloka, right?
So while there, he has to attend the Jnanam. If he is not attending Jnanam because of his poor karma, he'll come back.
Comes back.
So that is my first question, Guruji. Thank you for clarifying that. And my second question is a bit, I don't know, I feel like...
Mundaka Upanishad, we will see that.
Okay.
I think we have not seen it. We will come to that mantra. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Next question. Next question.
The second part of the same is that he gets the person there in Brahmaloka, he gets the Brahma Jnanam by Brahmaji himself.
Yes.
Achha.
No other teacher is there. Brahmaloka,
So,
only one teacher, Brahmaji himself.
only one teacher. Now, what I was wondering, if Brahmaji already has the Jnanam, but why is he still considered as a created person, and why is he not already got the mukti? If he's already got the Brahma Jnanam, how is he still there in a position where he will come down?
Because just getting Brahma Jnanam is not the ultimate test for moksha.
Okay.
Abiding in that Brahma Jnanam is the ultimate test for moksha.
All right. Okay.
So Brahmaji can have Jnanam and teach everybody.
Okay.
But if he is not abiding in that, then he will also be a jiva only and vacate his seat.
All right.
He will have to vacate his seat. At the end of the kalpa, he will come be a jiva. That's all. Where he will proceed, going to Brahmaloka, X amount of punya. Becoming Brahmaji, getting appointed at the position of Brahmaji, maybe, X to the power of X amount of punya.
Okay.
Then he will become Brahmaji, or he will rule Kalpa as Brahmaji.
Okay.
And he will know Brahma Jnanam, he will teach everybody, whoever comes there. As such, the traffic in Brahmaloka and the population is very, very less. Yeah, who will go do all karma, upasana, everything and earn so much punyam and go to Brahmaloka? Very rare, not at least in Kali Yuga, very, very rare. Okay, scriptures talk about it, so we'll also talk about it. But there also, he may have jnanam, he will teach people, because that is the only job. Of course, apart from the job of creation, he will teach also. But then if he does not abide in that knowledge, because if he abides in that knowledge, he will no longer be Brahmaji, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was
The
saying.
moment we say Brahmaji, give a name, then it means he is not abiding in that knowledge.
Oh.
Like we have got so many acharyas, they know. I myself, I can teach everything. I know intellectually everything, but am I abiding in that knowledge? No. I am trying to. I am still in the process of, right? Because the Chitta Shuddhi is not a big, for you to abide in that knowledge, high degree of Chitta Shuddhi should be achieved. As long as there are this, we are caught in a bind, with this samsara,
Ragadvesha.
raga, dvesha, lobha, moha, all that. That Chitta Shuddhi will not come. It might have got better as compared to what we were earlier. But we have to continue to work on this Chitta Shuddhi. So that is how the whole scheme of things are. Okay.
Okay, Guruji, I have just one more small question. Another short question. Thank you very much, Guruji, for clarifying the second one. Now, earlier we were talking about when you are in deep sleep, there's an aspect of you which knows that you are in deep sleep, which was beyond time, and you are that awareness, and that itself is Brahman, right? We can say that itself is Brahman.
Yes,
That state is the Brahman, right?
it is Brahma, because the only
That's
entity,
Brahman state of mind
the only entity which is existing at the deep sleep state
is the Brahman.
is Brahman. And
So,
that is the proof. And that Brahman is you. Because if that Brahman was some other entity, you will not be able to say that I had a deep sleep, isn't it?
yes.
Who is
Yes.
that who is saying I had a deep sleep and I slept very well? No. I didn't know what time, where I was also, I didn't know. That means I was beyond time, I was beyond space. But you know all this, you knew all those things. First of all, you knew that, and when you wake up, come to the waking stage, you are able to talk about it. So who is that you? Who other than Brahman can talk about such a state? Only if you are Brahman, then only you can talk, isn't it? So that
Yeah.
is, then you connect Aham Brahmasmi with that. So your very things become very clear. So that is how we have to keep on thinking about it and connect all these dotted lines.
Yeah, it's so amazing that your Brahman is you, and it's so close to you. You're experiencing it every day in deep sleep, but then once the eyes open, everything goes push.
Exactly. And that is why attaining Brahma Jnanam and abiding in Brahman means even when the eyes are open, even when you are experiencing this materialistic world, you are thought that I am Brahmas means I am Brahman means I am only a witness for what is going on. I have nothing to do with this.
And that is why you told inverted commas, attaining,
Everything
realizing.
inverted commas. When I say experience means inverted commas. Actually, I am witnessing only. I am not experiencing. Well, in English, we use all these terminologies so interchangeably and so vaguely, very difficult. That is why in English to teach Vedanta is very difficult. But we must understand, once you understand, then any terminology you use, it doesn't matter. So that is what it is. All these things, if you see, that's why I keep saying, Bhagavan has given a prototype model in our body. And this only human beings can understand. And some of us have got a chip. That chip helps us to understand, relate to all these things which are taught. Most of the human beings, Bhagavan has not provided the chip. He has provided a different chip, which works on this universe, going to all this entertainment, pleasure, and things like that and all. Only few of us are born with that chip. And that chip, when it gets activated light, like what probably I assume has got activated for your friend Rekha ji, then you come to...
Unfortunately, she has messaged that her thing got disconnected and she was not able to connect back.
Oh, okay.
So she tried again and again, but I don't understand how it happened. She said she was there in the beginning, but hopefully next time she'll be able to connect.
I mean, it does happen, of course. And that is what problem with material.
The chip
world
is yet to be activated.
Yes. No, it is in the process of activation. It has to go through some processes, probably. It will get activated, not a problem. So that is that.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Yes, Rekha ji, you had a question?
Hari Om, Guruji.
Hari Om.
My question was answered actually during the satsanga, so thank you for answering. My question was actually, is Brahmaji a position, not an actual individual jiva? And I think you have answered that came quite clear through the satsang. So thank you.
Okay, Hari Om. Thank you.
Namaste, Guruji. Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
Yeah. Guruji, this you said this universe is eternal and cyclic in nature with respect to time. That is, there is no first creation, which we as a human being, we cannot imagine. We always feel that there should be first creation. Sometime or the other time it would have come in a picture, the first creation. And also the universe is infinite with respect to space also. So this concept of infinity with respect to space and time, we cannot perceive as it has been told. Is it a limitation of our intelligence as a human being?
Limitation of, yes, our intellect. Because our intellect can only relate to what is within time and space.
Yeah.
What is beyond time and space, we cannot relate to. And that is why if you say, show me Brahman, we cannot say, where is Brahman? How will I show Brahman? Brahman cannot be shown. But once you understand that Brahman is all pervading, that means everything you see Brahman is an experience of Brahman only. And therefore it is said that there is no separate experience of Brahman. Every experience is an experience of Brahman only. And moksha, Atma Jnanam, is understanding that only is Atma Jnanam. Understand? Okay. So the entire universe, cosmos, which we talk about, that's why we say, what is Ishvara? The entire cosmos is Ishvara. There is no separate entity other than this cosmos. Because Brahman inheres, pervades everything. Brahman is the cause of everything. So the cause is there in effect. So everything is Ishvara. And that is why, as I used to quote Puja Swamiji, Swamiji used to say, it is wrong to say there is one God. It is, the correct statement should be, there is only God. Nothing else other than God is there. Okay.
And this jiva also, the numbers we count jiva. So there is Atma. So Atma, there is no count. It is one Atma.
There is only one Atma.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is no separate individual Atmas. That one Atma actually pervades all the jivas. Makes them conscious. That's all.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Hari Om. Yes, any other question?
Hari Om, Guruji.
Hari Om. Lata ji, I think Rekha ji is again and again calling me. Doesn't matter. I'll call her back or send a message. Okay, then we'll close the class. See you all next week.
Hari Om. Thank you. Thanks a lot.